We've all played badminton, and it seems like the rules are fairly easy to understand. I think there's a big difference, though, in the equipment that these guys use and the ones we use at home. This is a typical racket that you can buy, and it all comes as part of a set. You get the net, you get a couple of rackets, you get some birdies, right? And this is an okay racket, but compare it with this one. This one costs about 75 bucks, but it can run you up to about $200, okay? And it's a little bit bigger than the kind that we might goof around with in the backyard. Listen to the difference in tension, though. This is the one that we play with. This is the one the bad boys of badminton play with. So obviously they're going to be able to hit the ball a little bit harder. It's a much more precise piece of equipment. But here's where the big change is. This is the shuttlecock that's used at the Olympics, and maybe you've been hearing Bill Clement describe this thing. 16 goose feathers. I mean, this is a beautiful piece of equipment, but it's fragile, but it's also very strong. All from the left side of the goose. I'm not making this up. So that the contours of the feathers are all the same, and it gives a uniform ride. This thing can go up to 200 miles an hour. You cannot tell me that the birdie we use at home, this thing, you can lean on this as hard as you want. This thing isn't going 200 miles an hour. It's not. And even though it doesn't look sophisticated, it has a tree-seeking device implanted in it somewhere. I don't know where, but I've played a lot of badminton with my kids. By the 7th shot, this thing's up in the tree, okay? So then what does your kid do? She says, Mommy, I'll get it down. Throws a racket up in the tree. Now your racket's up in the tree. She says, don't worry, I'll get that down. So now your kid goes into the garage and goes and gets the red rubber ball, which should come as standard equipment in any kind of backyard badminton set. Throws that in, that immediately gets impaled. So she goes to get something else to get to get one of these things down, okay? Now there are kids from all over the neighborhood that have come into your backyard, and they're emptying out your garage, throwing stuff at your tree, all right? You realize suddenly you own 18 basketballs. You've got 9 footballs, okay? There's softballs flying through the air. The tree is now groaning with children and equipment, all right? Someone's turned on the hose. Badminton is a water sport. They're trying to get this thing down with a hose. And somehow, mothers from all over the neighborhood hear that badminton is being played at Mary's house. They're dropping off their kids. They know it's an all-day affair. They know it's going to involve 17 other sports. They're dropping off their kids. They're leaving skid marks, okay? You've got Colleen Clark up in the tree trying to get down a SpongeBob SquarePants beach ball with a hockey stick, okay? There's pool sticks flying through the air like javelins, and you hear yourself saying, somebody's going to poke an eye out. It just never ends. Everything is going on, right? Then you see Christopher Burr, and it's always Christopher Burr. He takes a rollerblade, throws it up at the tree, hits your car, you got a dent in your Jeep. You realize you better get your Jeep out of the way, and you also realize that for the first time in 7 years, you can actually pull your car into the garage because there's no sporting equipment there anymore. Not even the inflatable raft that hasn't seen action since the baby duck rescue of 1997. You pull your car into the garage, and as you do, your other kid is coming out. He's on the phone with R.T. Murphy. He sizes up the situation and says, hey, come on over. We're playing badminton. That is a sport that I know, and that's probably a sport that you know as well. Olympic badminton is coming back after this.
Yeah, I think this is going to work out just perfectly. So let's do this. Let's take you to Copenhagen right now, where we're about to get an announcement of the first city out. Let's have a listen.
The city of Chicago, having obtained the least number of votes, will not participate in the next round.
Chicago is out. Chicago is out. Chicago is out. Let's get AD mic'd up here.
We shall now proceed immediately with another round of voting.
Madrid is still in. Tokyo is still in. Wait a minute. Chicago is out?
I'm not exactly sure how to introduce this one. I'm here with a couple of guys who are with the Canadian Olympic Demonstration hide-and-seek team. Now, it took me quite a while to believe that this was actually true. But what did you say that the other country called this?
Well, in China, you know how table tennis is called ping pong, and it's called table tennis normally. Well, this is actually an ancient Chinese game called lodong.
and you actually play this as an Olympic demonstration sport?
Well, in the Beijing Olympics, 2008 Olympics in Beijing, it is a demonstration sport. That is correct.
And is this something you guys do for fun, or is this like a profession?
Profession.
Really?
Make money at it. We don't, but we like to.
So is this something that they also do in the United States that we just haven't heard about?
The states started a team, but they never went through with it. It's a lot of smaller countries.
Biden has been serving in the Senate since 1970.
All right, thanks, Lester. Now it's time for the women's 5,000-meter run. Measure up to
I got over the hurdles. Like shit. I can see the girl past me.
How much does your life change? Because Rebecca Allington, young girl, quite a promising swimmer, to suddenly, swimmer to suddenly. Can you leave her? Can we just look at it? Very promising swimmer to suddenly a household name.
Make the ground shake.